Hi, this is your favorite vocal coach, H of the Stage, and once again on this channel, we're listening to the amazing Israeli singer, the goddess of the desert sound, as they say, Ofra Haza. This time we're listening to a type of song that I've never imagined Ofra would sing, or at least I couldn't picture her singing in this kind of genre. The little info that I've gathered about this song before actually listening to it, it seems that it's a song from 90s, and this song is a mixture of two genres, and you would never guess what they are. And wait for it, dark pop and operatic pop. What? I mean, operatic pop, yeah, I can get a hang of that, but what's dark pop? I've never heard of that. So this will be a very interesting song to listen to and to analyze. The song is in Hebrew language, and when the title is translated, it means broken days. So without further ado, let's go check it out together. What? Yeah. Oh, nice. A disco song. Oh man, I just love these old synth sounds. And the snare. So tight. Woo! Man, this works. This is so good. Okay, I can hear the operatic voice in the background. Oh, I love this, man. This is so amazing. Okay, I think we're going into the chorus now, so let me just pause here for a second. Wow. This doesn't sound like anything I've listened from Ofra by now, you know? This is very disco, and yeah, that's kind of to be expected because it's from the 80s. But I just love these synth sounds, everything that's played on the keyboard, even these synth pads, but the drums are so tight. That snare is just driving the whole song. What's interesting about the verse is that it's sitting a lot on the tonic, which means on the first degree of the scale, and here we're in the E minor scale. So you have this little melody pattern that's repeating every time she stops singing, and when the progression of the song is stuck on the tonic on the E minor. So it goes something like this. Then you have her just singing on the same chord for 2 times, I believe. Then you have this kind of first change that goes to the C major and then the D major. So a very simplistic approach. Just 3 chords for now, but it serves the song so well. So, you know? So I'm just playing around. Beside all of these minimalistic details, which I really enjoy, I really like that backing operatic vocal. That's not something that you would hear usually in this kind of music. That's what makes it a perfect blend between that dark pop blend that I've talked about and the operatic part. So let me find that backing vocal just a bit. So here, after Ofra's main vocal line, which is beautiful as always, and with a lot of those spitty vocals that I always talk about, which I enjoy so much, then you have this operatic backing vocal, which is so different from what she usually sings, and it's just so different from anything that you would put in this kind of music, but again, it just works. So you have something like this. Just amazing. I've never heard anything like it. Let's finally go to the chorus. I'm talking too much, sorry. The chorus. Whoa. I can hear the darkness. Perfect belt. Again with the operatic voice. It's like a solo. Okay. This is just so much things are happening here. This is almost like this is almost like some disco variation to Mozart's Queen of the Night melody. You know that melody? Now, Ofra is obviously not singing the same kind of melody, but she's singing in the same kind of style. Very staccato, very short, but she's singing a different melody, of course. But to me, it sounds like something that Mozart would write in his operas. Beautiful. First legato notes, then staccato, ascending. I just love that melody. So this is all on E minor. Very amazing what you can do with just one chord. Now the chord changes. And C, D major, again C, D major, and go into E minor again. But this melody, the synth line is so good. The chorus melody is very hard to sing. Listen. You have this ascending melody that ends with a belt that has an ornament. Very hard thing to do, but she does it so beautifully. And that's kind of like in her mix. So this song really shows her vocal range so much. She's going into her high mixed voice, which is just on the verge of her mezzo-soprano voice and her soprano operatic voice. Then she's going downwards all the way into her alto register. When I first listened to her, I would say that she's a mezzo-soprano, but she has a very big range. It's not that easy just to put her in this one category. In fact, she's much more than that. My friend Lores from Sweden, who actually requested this video and who was the biggest Ofra fan there is, no doubt about it, she actually came into contact with an Israeli classical singer who knew both Ofra and Lola was Ofra's vocal coach, and she knew better than anybody about Ofra's range, so we got to learn some new information that are really useful. It seems the best way to classify Ofra's voice would be to call it a soprano sfoggiato, which is Italian for vented soprano. That's the term that's used to describe contraltos or mezzo-sopranos who can extend their range and reach, but also use these colorature sopranos tessitures, or tessitura in Italian. And tessitura is just a fancy word describing a singer's most acceptable and also most comfortable vocal range. So what does this mean for Ofra's voice? Well, it basically means that she's comfortable almost singing anything. She's comfortable singing mezzo-soprano range as well as colorature soprano range in any kind of song. Now, colorature sopranos are usually sopranos that have just a little bit brighter colored voice, brighter timbre of the voice. So I would say even though Ofra can reach those notes without any problem, her voice is just a little bit of darker to just call her a colorature soprano. So that's why the best way to describe her voice would be to call it soprano sfoggiato. According to this classical Israeli singer that my friend got in contact with and who knew both Ofra and Lola, her vocal coach, it seemed that Ofra's vocal range spread all the way from D2 to a C7, which is almost a 5-octave range. Just one tone shorter than a 5-octave range. It seemed that Ofra did a lot of head voice exercises as well as whistle note exercises, and she could basically sing anything. She was wonderful. Let's continue listening to the song. We're almost at the end. Even these backing vocals, male vocals, are great. And you have this dominant 7th chord, dark and powerful in this song. B7 chord. Ah. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I have to get back to this last note where she started very soft, then she really focused it to give it more energy. This last very high note. Okay, so this is what she's singing. These two notes are G6 and E6. And then she's singing these staccato notes. So this is what she's singing. And that's a G6, A6, and a B6. And I think she even does a glissando very quickly at the end of the last note. Yeah, she's doing just a little tiny, very hard to hear glissando at the last note. I think she's even reaching the highest note that we talked about. B. I don't know what happens there, to be honest. I'm not really sure what happens there, but it sounds like she's doing just a quick slide, and I'm not completely sure on which note she ends. It's very hard to hear it. Okay, so while I was editing the video, this note just, wouldn't let me rest, and I really wanted to know what note that was. So she sang a D7, but it was just a little bit flat. It wasn't perfectly on point. So the pitch center D7 is 2349 hertz, but she sang just a little bit below that, singing 2306. And you can hear that it's just a little bit flat in the song, but since it's so much in the background, it's almost not noticeable. But nevertheless, this was an amazing song. First of all, there are a lot of things that I could gather from this song. For example, I could hear Prince singing something like this. I can even imagine Freddie Mercury singing a song in this style. He has that song that I believe is called Living on My Own that kind of reminds me of this song. But there are so many things going on here. Vocally, the range is amazing, going all the way from alto to her highest note that she ever sung. I really like the operatic parts of the song. Very dark, a lot of vibrato as usual from her, but this time you can really hear that operatic vibrato, It's not her usual vibrato that I hear in other songs. At least it doesn't sound quite like that. The other thing that I really enjoy is the sound quality of the instruments. The snare drum is so punchy and very dry. The tom fills in the songs are very nice. They happen a lot. They happen a lot in the song, and they just bring so much energy. All in all, this is just a wonderful song. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like it, share with your friends, consider subscribing, and hit that bell to get notified about my next videos. For those of you that don't know already, I'm a singing coach and I teach singing every day through Skype, Zoom, what's video call, or whatever works for you. If that's something you're interested in, check out my website, singeverything.com, consider booking a lesson, and if you book more lessons up front, there are some discounts. So check out my FAQ section of the page for more information about that. If you want to see these videos before anybody else and also get entitled to some cool perks as well, check out my Patreon page because that's where everything is happening. You can be a part of my creative process and that will mean the world to me. Come along with me on this ride, trust me, it will be interesting. If you want to help the making of these videos, you can treat me to a coffee with a link in the description. Think about it, coffees aren't that expensive, but every single thing adds up in the end and it helps me so much. Thank you Lores for requesting a video once again. You're the biggest opera fan there is out there, no question about it. Thank you all for watching, you look wonderful, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.